Hello friends, welcome back to a new reaction video. So this year a couple of new people have popped up here on YouTube, and one of them is a filmmaker from Sweden, a guy called Erik Hedenfalk. We've already been looking at one of his videos previously, you'll find that link up here somewhere, and you guys have loved it. And no wonder why, because the video he's making, they're really sick. So today we're gonna look at one that he recently uploaded, Norway, cinematic video. Let's jump over the computer, get right into it. So as always, if you haven't watched the video before, link in the description, you'll find that there, watch it on his channel first. I only looked at like the first couple of seconds and then I knew we would have to make a reaction to it. So let's look at it. It's off to a very dramatic start.
Life is about experiences. Catching sunrises, hiking mountains, and meeting new people.
What I really like about this one this time, I don't think he did that in the videos before, is he's been making that voiceover. That's what I so often see when people are making cinematic travel videos and then it's just putting travel clips together but there's no real story to it. And here what's really cool is that he's giving it some context and he's actually sharing a message here. And then the entire intro was super dramatic. So here with starting in the dark and you only see the silhouette here and then it's building up, you hear the riser in the background. And all the effects here with the overlay, you get a glimpse of what might come here. Again, here the silhouette, and then he's making this crazy overlay here. And some kind of a static effect, and then comes the voiceover. Listen to the sound effects.
Experiences.
A lot of attention to detail there. There's zing. If you just take 2 or 3 more hours after you've done your edit to add sound effects to it, it makes such a difference. The high-pitched zing to the light.
Catching sunrises, hiking mountains.
Here, cool, the drone shot with how the mountains in the back are revealing. So the drone is slowly flying up like this.
Meeting new people.
Really close-up shot on the eye here, super sharp.
People.
Very dramatic.
I rather
And then in the back, the music that's slowly building up.
have stories to tell than stuff to show.
And then I like here that he's ending that voiceover on the message that he wants to share, that he much rather have stories to tell than things to show. Here, pretty crazy time lapse. And then those clips are going so fast you barely actually see what's happening. That one is super cool.
This is a story about my epic.
This looks very much like what Andreas M is also very often doing on his Instagram, I think. Making a freeze frame and then animating it in 3D with all the Polaroids here and then the titles.
Norwegian road trip.
And then here the next frame is coming in just like as if though it was on a Polaroid. Really cool. And that transition, what the hell was that transition? So afterwards, I remember some sort of a similar thing that a JRLE once did where he was tearing an image apart and then he recorded by recording his hand on a green screen and then put it as an overlay on top. That could be like this. Well, here you see his fingers actually disappearing, so that doesn't really speak for that he actually recorded it with the waterfall in camera. And then it's dissolving here in the middle, and that to that really epic drone shot flying forward. That one, and really iconic shots here. Pay attention to the sound effect that's coming here when the speed ramp and the That section was really cool. Listen to the music and then it's a and then you have a couple of very short clips behind each other. And always these freeze frame moment here, the freeze frame moment, but it's slowly zooming in and out. Quick interruption, if you're enjoying these videos, then chances are you're a filmmaker, an editor, or a content creator, or you aspire to become one. Now I know that many of you are dying to know how to get to that point where probably Erik and me have made it, where we can make this full-time and we make a living as a content creator. And I still remember how painful and difficult it was to get to this point, and I learned so many things along the way that I want to share with you. And that's exactly why I put together a full day in-person workshop that's happening in pretty much exactly a week from now, where I'm gonna teach you all that. Now initially it was planned as an editing workshop, but since I realized that many more of you have the actual problem in finding clients, how to properly charge for your work and that sort of thing, that's what will be happening on the workshop. Also, as you know it from these videos here on YouTube, we'll do a lot of editing breakdown from some of my real world projects. And that's why I called it the Content Creator Breakthrough Class, because that's exactly what I want to help you with so that you can get on that journey of becoming a content creator as well. Now, down in the description, there's a link to find more about that event. I'd love to see you there and help you get your content creator journey started as well. Now, let's get back into the reaction video. That was a cool shot. So must have been a straight flight forward with the drone and then sped it up a lot and gave it a lot of motion blur. And how cool is that time lapse? And here it's so smooth, the transitions. So you barely actually see it. Is that actually in the shot? Was this a hyperlapse shot on a drone, or was it a time lapse and then he masked it out here? So here, that could give it away. So here you see that there are actually no shoes here. And here you also see that the edges are a little bit fizzly. So what I assume is he rotoscoped himself out, so this here, and then put the time lapse that is here behind that. So these are two different shots. Fancy effect. That is really cool with the overlays here of the northern lights. Super dramatic. Here you can barely even tell, but I would assume they recorded it on daylight and then afterwards the entire making it look like night he did in post. With the stars here, they look much brighter than they might be in real life, and then these super dark clouds at the light rays. I assume he did that in post, but looks really good. That was an absolutely epic effect. So here the question could be, how might that be recorded? What I would assume here is either afterwards in post, he somehow animated this light stray onto that road. The other option that it's a super long exposure time lapse. So this was actually a car that was driving here and you might be seeing the headlights. No, not even true. The road is actually appearing here. There's no road before that. Erik, no idea how you did that. Looked pretty epic. Awesome. So cool. Here these light overlays. When you really want to catch the viewer, then it's super important to make sort of a build up and make fast pacing and change it up with having shots that are there for longer and then shots that are there for super short. So here this section, again in the music with the it's very fast, super quick. That transition was super epic, obviously. How the hell did he do it? So it's tilting up. And then here it's moving in. Sound effect of the fishing rope. Super low down to the ground. And that was pretty cool. The camera shake that he added in post, while the camera here is slowly going over those rocks here. And then he made the waterfall appear. Pretty epic. Those are some really nice drone shots. I mean, just look at that. That is so beautiful nature. Sometimes that shot can just stand for itself. No need for any crazy sky replacement or anything fancy. That shot is so cool in itself with those couple of people standing here that it can just stand for itself. That one is so nice. Really smooth transition. Really smooth transition through the clouds. That looks so dramatic, you barely actually see anything. So I'm wondering here if they actually flew the drone in that kind of fog. If so, hats off, the drone hopefully survived it. Apparently you have the footage. Here what really stands out to me is the color grading. So here a lot of teal in the shadows and a lot of orange here in the grass, the houses and so on. So the classic teal and orange color grading. The water sound effect in the back. Here again, those couple of sound effects. And then here for a short moment, again, as in the car previously, you have that short freeze frame. And during that, it's slowly zooming out. Really cool. And that was very dramatic with from super slow motion to speeding up and then turning and running over. That was really cool. Here again, so smooth, the transitions. You don't even see if that was in camera or probably put on later on. Some light leak here that makes it super bright. And then here you just see this RGB. You can barely see what that is. This shot also super cool. Must have been a composed shot. If you look in detail, then he was most likely not actually standing here. So it's put together. Time lapse in the back and this shot in the foreground. Here, this is a hyperlapse with the drone. Look at the clouds, how fast they're moving, while the drone is slowly moving in that direction. Really nice. The smoothness of a transition. Think about here, the movement of the paddle is going down and then our eyes follow down. And here you see there's a super blurry line, so much blur that you can barely see the transition. Also, I mean, how cool was that? Look at it now, having just looked at it frame by frame, it goes down. Crazy, so good. And then slowly coming in focus. So here you barely realize, okay, what could this be? It's completely out of focus. And then as the camera goes further away, you think it's in the shot with the leaves, but it actually isn't. And then that other shot disappears and it's him walking on that thing. Is it called Trolltunga in Norway? I don't even know how you pronounce that. But that epic, it's so smooth how it's tilting up. Once again, an absolute crazy video from Erik that he filmed there. Super, super cool. And a reminder for all those of you who live in Sweden or who want to come to Sweden to come to a full day in-person workshop where I'm going to be teaching you exactly like we're doing it here in the reaction videos. Down in the description, there's the link to get a ticket. Would be excited to see you there or in the next reaction video. Until next time.